guys, this is Sammy Gemini and welcome to an interactive story called Buried. Now this is an interactive story, so it's a nice pleasant story. So grab your snacks, your pot, sit back, get comfy and let's have story time with Sammy. Let's get on to it, shall we? I open my eyes and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful, except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened here. My God. Sorry, my head. My God. My head hurts and ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming, but after that I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of the crew. They could be in danger. So we search the hard hat or forget the hats, search for the crew. Well, he doesn't really go anywhere with his hard hat, plus well, there's lots of trees, so it could be another explosion. So let's search the hard hat. I get up on shaky legs. I look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They certainly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. It makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I sit behind a fallen log about 10 feet away from me. How has it thrown so far? It's beyond me. Driven by nothing but habit, I walk over to it, pick it up and place it on my head. I walk over to the centre of the logging site and don't like what I see. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the centre. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on the truck for a day is overturned. The trailer bent and logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me. And this ringing in my ears, I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company and we've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief. But it also makes me feel fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. So do you look at debris or look at the truck? Well, I can already see the truck in front of me, so I know that that's, overturned. So let's look at debris. There are bits of debris everywhere. There are fragments of the 5-gallon bucket I keep over work rags in. A loose saw chain, an overturned gas canister. Had there been an explosion, all the fuel in sight would have started a fire, but there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he's been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but the battery's already running really low. Not that it matters, the reception is crap out here. So, he said obviously the cell phone's not on that much battery, so we could use that for an emergency later on, so I'm gonna yell out. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe. But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back from other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew went that way for help. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my God, it's a leg. It either has to be Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. It might not be safe to get close, but at the same time I can't just leave him there. We're gonna go and look, definitely. I'm not just gonna stay back, especially if he's one of my friends. Hey, I yell. Are you okay? Are you alive? Holding onto my hat, I skip over to the wrecked equipment and stray logs to get closer. I can see a bit more of a leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognise the work boot. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. Oh my God. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes. Tony didn't survive. I'm going to leave the body alone. There's no point in trying to pull it out because I'm not going to be able to do anything. There's nothing I can do for him now. I start to back away slowly. In my shock, I stumble, suddenly tripping over the stray logs. My head collides with one of the logs. As I bite the ground, but my hard hat does its job. Thank God I decided to look for it earlier. But what's more startling is realising that Tony's dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising up in my throat. I don't know if it's a scream or vomit, but I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. Shit, I can't believe this. Tony, he has 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's baseball team. He was the hardest worker I had, and was one of the most honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears, it's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and feels like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder if it's in my ears or if it's something else. The silence out here is creepy. And there's the smell, like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it, I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves or branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have hurt it during the what, accident or... Wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. I'm going to yell out. I don't really want to walk up and startle him, so I'm going to yell out. Dennis, I yell. Dennis, can you hear me? Dennis lets out a shout like someone waking from a nightmare. He then looks back at me from the ground. Yeah, Roger, I hear you, he hollers back as I head over to him. Dennis is built like a wrestler. He has a tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disorientated and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear on his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What's going on? He asks. I'm gonna be honest. Don't know. The crew is missing. Missing, Dennis says. Where do you think they went? I'm not sure, I say. But it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods as if he's just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment is overturned. The dozers too, I say, shifting my hard hat, wiping my forehead. You okay? I ask him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him though. Sure, he comes to work a few times looking like he's been in the bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do his useless present of dinosaurs to play to Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then what hit me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's death right now. Not before we know what's going on. But he has the right to know. Yeah, he does. He needs to know his friend's dead. You can't keep that from him. Tony's dead. Denny's eyes fixated on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment, like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow, and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says. I can tell that he's fighting back the tears. He and Tony have been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he adds quickly, as they're trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came from right out of the ground, like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment, or this was no equipment, Dennis interrupts. Agitated, this was a huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. Nothing. Where did it go? It just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers, but I had finished about 10 trees for the day and I was about to top one. Then it happened. You were almost done with 10 trees, I asked. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when the lights blew up. Why, you don't believe me? Of course I believe him. Jeff, of course I believe Dennis. He saw what he saw. I think to myself, he has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side of his coat coated in blood. The red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large splotch that makes me worry. I'm going to say I've been better. I don't know how much longer I can stand on my feet, he says. What happened? I ask. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then I notice that strange ringing noise. It's filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks around. Dennis looks scared when I ask him the quiz question. He nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks of all sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something unnerving about this. I'm not going to say I'm freaking out because, like I said, I'm his boss, so we'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm from through the woods or something. Still, even my passive comment seems to reassure Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try and call Frank? Dennis asks. I know he had his cell phone on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I have some battery left. I pull out my phone, my cell, and call Frank. Happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other another look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up and we walk behind the trees to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground, right near where the phone was. But there's no stray piles of wet dirt or rocks. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth, wide, but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted. No shovels, no diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come out the ground. He muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, the ringing noise carries through the forest, again sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on. We might not be safe here, but the ringing could be the clue to where the rest of the queue went. I'm going to say we go down the hole. There's no point in going away because we need to find the rest of the crew, so I'm going to say let's go in. He decides to check out the sound. Something's not right, I say, and if there's a mechanical noise like that, you think someone's out there? Out here, he asks. Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. That they might be able to help. Yeah, you go right ahead, he says with a grin. I'll be here waiting for you. Better hurry though. Dennis doesn't look like he's going to be in the best shape to be choosing around the forest, but we need some answers right away too. I'm not going to leave Dennis. Definitely not. Dennis comes with me. He's not staying here, so no, you're coming with me. I bend over and hoist him up against my shoulder. He resists, just barely, and then gives in. He's looking at me like he's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. We start moving through the woods quickly with no idea where the rest of the crew is. I worry they could be in danger. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. I grew up in the country and can't find my way through the forest without much of a problem. But I'm feeling dizzy. I'm leaning against a tree when I see something that has no business being out here. Our logging crew has been out here for 3 weeks and never seen it before. It's a small building, sort of like a mixture of a shack and a bunker. It looks to be made of concrete, but moss, weeds and plain old erosion make it look sort of mystical. It looks like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. What the hell is this? Dennis asks. Oh no, I've got no idea. You purchased this land, right, boss? Dennis asks. Didn't you survey it? I certainly did, I say, getting a little defensive, but this wasn't here. Do you think the others maybe went in here? He asked nervously. Why would they do that? I asked. I don't know, but they aren't out here. If they aren't inside, maybe they're probably dead, like Tony. He looks at the ground as he says this. I want to go inside, not just to find my crew, but also to appease my curiosity. That ringing noise is coming from inside, but something about this place seems incredibly strange, especially located all by itself out here. It simply does not belong. I wonder, do we knock or just go in? Dennis asks. I can tell that he's trying to make a joke, but it falls flat. I'm starting to think his humour is a defensive mechanism for his fear. We both look ahead, take a moment and realise what we're about to do. Start forward. We get no more than 3 feet closer when Dennis wobbles. Reach out and stable him. I reach out quickly, straining my injured knee. I barely make it in time, grabbing him under his arms, keeping him from hitting the ground. I'm okay, he said. Just can you help me walk for a little while? Just help me inside, please. I can't deny him his request. I've never seen him like this, weak, and it's a little uncomfortable to see. It makes me glad I decided to keep him with me. I help Dennis into the weird little building. The front door opens easily, even though there's certainly a lock on it. Maybe the lock was supposed to keep someone in. It's hard to tell. I still hear that ringing noise. It's definitely coming from in here. Stretching out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's a concrete floor, a dingy, featureless walls. There's no windows, giving the place an even more isolated feel. Still we hear the ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior seems more confined. at first, but a small set of concrete steps lead 5 feet down, revealing a corridor. It's a massive corridor, in fact, like some kind of building underground. It seemed to go on forever. The corridor is almost dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I assume we're now underground because the corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we entered. I realise that someone might not appreciate finding us here. I'm going to walk quickly because I want to get it over and done with in this corridor. I don't like corridors. I'm eager to figure out what's going on here. Our footsteps echo loudly in the dust and in the dirt. Dennis leans on me for support. If there's anyone out here, it's not like we're trying to be quiet, stealthy with this intention of sneaking up on them. If anyone's listening, they definitely know we're here now. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs? I ask. He stands up slowly and visibly making an effort not to fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice to follow. We approach the stairs, and by just looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may be very well no going back. As I head down the stairs, I notice that one looks aged. That damned ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into a cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he's just finished a marathon. I'm going to pause here from a break. Let me think. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat down on the stair, my mind seemed to lock in on this unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married. I've met his wife a few times, a nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realise I might never get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeat, so he has been improving for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "Alright, let's keep going." We stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out to search the next step. I can't help but feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting the monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're close to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall and looks just out of place down here as I feel a shiver of light a sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says Level 1 entrance gate transport sector, and there's a button with no label. Let's say push the button. I give the pushing a push. One of the readings on the panel flickers to life. Outage, that's all it says, and then goes dark. The panel looks like a diagnostic alert system of some kind. Each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be turned off, but there's one phase that quickly blinking a red light next to it, the only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly stops in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. And Dennis walks through. That ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind me with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going, I ask. It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared. Something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. I'm asking what he saw. What did you see? I don't know what it was, boss. It's like someone had left a radio crackling, but we don't have any radios on the site. It was, I don't know, it was like something in the forest was moving. I gave him a doubtful look and he cast his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he said, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlour, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. I become just background noise. We take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense yet. Another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colours of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. Well, wow. Well, that's the end of chapter 1. A lot going on here. I'm definitely eager to find out what's going on here, where Bester Rogers' crew is, and hopefully we can help Dennis out along the way as well. If you guys like this, then don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and if you haven't subscribed, then subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!